The stars above Theros Prime were quiet. No ships moved. No sound traveled. But then, something strange happened. A signal. A weak, broken message came from the ruins of Theros Prime. It traveled through deep space, across galaxies, through dust, clouds and asteroid fields. A voice, shaking, afraid, spoke one sentence before fading into static. "Don't fight humans, or your world will burn like ours." The voice belonged to a Therosian captain. He was screaming. Then came a loud crash. After that, nothing. Dead silence. In the heart of the galaxy, the Galactic Council met inside a floating city above the gas planet Varnus. Tall, proud alien leaders sat around a long circular table. Species from 100 worlds were present. Blue-skinned, generals, golden-eyed diplomats, even machine beings made of glass and light. A recording of the signal played in front of them. Everyone listened. "Don't fight humans." Static. Whispers filled the room. "This must be fake," said Chancellor Goric, a reptilian leader from the Zark Collective. "Theros Prime was destroyed by solar flares," another counselor added. "No," spoke a quiet voice. It was Vial, a young diplomat from the peaceful Linari species. His skin glowed like soft green light. Vial stood up. "That was no solar flare. Look at the scans. The cities were vaporized, completely gone. No natural event can do that. And the signal? It's a real distress call." A few heads nodded. Most looked bored or angry. Chancellor Goric laughed. "You're young, Vial. New to the council. Let the real leaders handle threats. Humans disappeared centuries ago. They were weak. Earth is a myth now." "But what if it's not?" Vial asked. "What if they never disappeared? What if they just waited?" Later that night, Vial walked alone through the council archives. Tall shelves held thousands of glowing data blocks. Most were locked. But Vial had been studying humans for months. Something always felt off about their history. Why had Earth stopped talking to the council? Why did records suddenly end? He reached a dusty section marked Classified Level Omega. The red light above the door blinked slowly. He paused, then he used a stolen passcode. The door opened. Inside, dark screens came to life. Vial found files labeled Human Project Containment Failed and Operation Final Silence. His hands shook as he opened the first file. A video played. Humans fighting council soldiers, ships burning. One human soldier shouted, "We warned you. We said we'd protect Earth. You didn't listen." Then another clip. A council base exploding. A single human ship flew away, untouched. Vale's heart beat faster. He opened another file, a map. Old human colony worlds, abandoned, all marked, with red X's and one final note: "Do not engage, do not contact, Earth must remain undisturbed." Suddenly, the screen blinked red. "Unauthorized access detected. Sirens." Vale ran. Security bots zoomed down the hallway behind him. He hid behind a tall data rack, holding his breath. When the bots passed, he slipped out of the archive. He had seen too much. Back in his room, Vile couldn't sleep. His thoughts raced. Theros Prime was destroyed. Not by war, not by nature, by humans. But why? Why now? He looked at the star map. Earth's location was still marked, but with a warning. Restricted space. He stared at it for a long time. Elsewhere, in deep space, something moved. A black ship. Large, silent. Its surface shimmered like dark water. No engine trails. No heat signals. Inside the ship, lights blinked across a control panel. A soft human voice whispered in the darkness. They heard the message. Let them come. Let them remember why they feared us. Darkness filled the sky above the Galactic Council's archive tower. Lightning cracked in the clouds below, where the gas planet Varnus swirled in slow storms. High above, inside, the quiet halls of knowledge, A truth slept, forgotten or perhaps hidden on purpose. Until now. Vial couldn't stop shaking. He had seen something no one was supposed to see. A file, a warning, a silent scream from the past. Containment failed, and a final message. Do not contact Earth. Hours earlier, Vial had escaped the archive. He returned to his private quarters and locked the doors. His hands trembled as he pulled a small storage crystal from his robe. Inside, he had copied part of the human file, just enough to study. He whispered to himself, "Why hide this? Why lie about humans being weak?" He placed the crystal into his personal holo reader. The screen glowed softly. A new message appeared. "Welcome, Level 5 clearance confirmed." Vial blinked. Level 5. He never had that access. Someone had unlocked it for him, or was watching. The screen showed old footage from a Council exploration ship. It was a recording from hundreds of cycles ago. In the video, humans stood on Earth's surface waving at alien visitors. Peaceful, curious, friendly. "They wanted to join us," Vial said quietly. But the next recording was different. Explosions. Council warships firing on human cities. Screams. Then silence. Another log entry. Human resistance is stronger than expected. Unknown technology detected. Multiple Council fleets lost. Mission aborted. Vial covered his mouth. The Council tried to control Earth and failed, so they erased it. Suddenly the lights in his room flickered. His holoscreen blinked off, then on again. A message appeared, typed in real time, as if someone else was on the system. "Stop looking." Vial stared at the words. Another message followed. "They're coming," and then the screen shut off for good. That night, Vial met secretly with his friend Elon, a tech specialist who worked in communications. They sat in a small cafe, pretending to drink while using hidden ear chips. "You found a file?" Elon whispered. "Yes. The Council covered up a human war. They lost. Badly." Elon's eyes widened. "I've never heard of that. I need to find more. There's something else. A location. A human colony world. Abandoned. Coordinates?" Vial slid a small chip across the table. Elon took it without looking. "Be careful," Vial said. "Someone's watching me." Days later, using forged Council orders, Vial boarded a small scout ship named Silent Star. He told no one his true mission, not even Elon. He set course for an old human colony listed in the secret archive, Araxis 9. Officially, it was marked destroyed. But the file said otherwise. The journey took 2 days. As his ship approached the system, alarms rang inside the cockpit. Warning, no orbital activity, no life signs, radio silence for 300 years. But the planet was still there, green, blue, and quiet. Vial landed in a broken spaceport. Ruins stretched for miles. Buildings stood empty, like frozen shadows. Ships half buried in dust. No bodies, no signs of battle, just silence. Too perfect. He walked through the streets. Grass had grown over the metal. Nature had taken over, but something felt wrong. It wasn't destroyed. It was left behind. He entered a large tower in the center of the city. Inside, computers still glowed faintly, running on backup power. In the main control room, he found an old interface still active. He pressed a button. A hologram flickered to life. It showed a human woman in a black uniform. She spoke calmly. "To any Council force that finds this, we left this place. Willingly. You'll never find Earth. You'll never touch us again." She paused. "We have evolved. We watch. We wait. But if you attack again, we will respond. And you will not survive it." Vial stared in silence. He pressed another button. This time, a map appeared. A hidden vault. Underground. Still active, marked simply as Project Orion. He turned to leave the room. Behind him, something moved, a sound. Metal scraping. He raised his flashlight, but there was nothing, just a shadow that didn't belong. Back on his ship, Vial sent a tight beam message to Elan. I found something. I think they left something behind. I'm going deeper. If I don't, return, warn the others. Humans are not gone. He took a breath and walked back toward the ruins, toward the underground vault, toward the truth the galaxy was never supposed to know. Vial stood at the edge of the broken elevator shaft. Below him, only blackness. The map said the vault was deep underground, hidden beneath the ruins of Araxis 9. Whatever Project Orion was, it was still active. Even after 300 years, he clicked on his suit light. The beam reached down, showing rusted rails and torn metal. The elevator was gone. Only a thin cable remained. He wrapped his gloves around the cable and began to descend, slowly, carefully, step by step. Every sound echoed. Every breath felt louder than it should. After many minutes, Vial reached the bottom. The air was cold and dry. He stood inside a huge chamber, metal walls, old human design. The lights above flickered to life. They had been waiting. In front of him stood a giant round door. It was black and smooth with no handle, just a red screen beside it, glowing softly. Voice command required. Vial stepped closer. Open, he said. Nothing. He sighed. Project. Orion access. I am not a human. I come in peace. The screen blinked. Then, a strange voice, calm but deep, spoke from the wall. Voice print accepted. You are not human. You are Council Species Linari. Vial froze. Do you wish to view Echo Protocol? He nodded slowly. Yes. The door made a loud clang, then slowly opened. Inside was silence. The room was large and circular. In the center floated a silver orb, smooth, glowing with a faint blue light. Around it, ancient human tech, screens, consoles, strange devices with unknown symbols. Then the orb spoke. Not in sound, but in thought. You found this place. You were not meant to, but now you must listen. Vial gasped. The voice was inside his head. The orb pulsed. We were peaceful, at first. We joined the stars with hope, with kindness. We offered friendship. Images appeared around the room, humans shaking hands with alien leaders, sharing technology, helping build cities. Then the images changed. Council. Ships attacking Earth, human colonies destroyed, children crying, cities burning. The voice continued. We begged for peace. They refused. We built something to protect us. We called it Orion. Vial stepped closer to the orb. What is Orion? The orb paused. Not a weapon, not exactly. It is memory, thought, action. It sees what must be done. It cannot be fooled. It cannot be stopped. Where is it now? Everywhere. Vial's heart raced. Did Orion destroy Theros Prime? No. The humans did. He blinked. But they're gone! The orb pulsed brighter. They never left. They simply moved. Beyond. Suddenly, a faint sound came through the broken wall behind him. A whisper. A child's voice. They told us to stay, but the humans left. Vial spun around. Who's there? No one. But he heard the voice again, closer. We waited. We watched. We remember the stars. He backed up toward the orb. Is someone here? The orb glowed. Red for a moment. This vault holds memory, echoes of what was. They speak sometimes. Ghosts? No, recordings. Thoughts left behind. But they felt real. A soft hum filled the room. The walls began to shift. A hidden panel opened. Inside was a small crystal floating in a beam of light. The orb spoke again. This is Orion's seed, one of many. If you take it, you carry the warning. Vial reached out, then stopped. What will it do? It will wake the stars. It will call them home, if that is what you choose. Vial's hand trembled. I don't want war. Neither did we. He took the crystal. Nothing. Exploded. Nothing changed, but he felt something. A presence. A power. Sleeping. Watching. Vial ran back to his ship. As he flew away from Araxis 9, the ground behind him shifted. The vault sealed itself. The lights went out. Forever. Back on the silent star, Vial sat in silence. He held the crystal in his hand. Suddenly, the ship's screen blinked. A message appeared, written in human language. Then it auto-translated. You carry memory. Now you carry responsibility. And under it, they will come. Vial stared out the window. Deep in the stars, something was moving, coming closer, and whatever it wasn't afraid. The stars were quiet, but not still. In the deep black of space, something ancient was waking. A signal moved across the void, low, silent, and powerful. It came from a small crystal hidden in Vale's pocket, a crystal he had taken from the human vault on Araxis 9. He didn't know what it had started, but now, the galaxy would feel it. Vale's scout ship, Silent Star, drifted in orbit around a lifeless moon. He sat in the cockpit, staring at the glowing crystal in his palm. It pulsed gently, like a heartbeat. Why did you wake it? Elan's voice came through the screen. She looked worried. I had to, Vale replied. They left us a message, a choice. But what if it's not just a message? What if it's a weapon? Vale looked at the crystal. That's what I need to find out. Back on Varnus, the Galactic Council was panicking. Councillor Goric slammed his claws on the table. Another fleet lost, this time near the Zara Belt. No distress call, just gone. What is doing this? A machine being asked. We see no enemy ships, no invasions, only silence. Vial's name came up on the central screen. A quiet voice said, He took something from a restricted planet, something human. Goric growled. Find him, now. Vial didn't have much time. He checked the coordinates left in the vault, places linked to Project Orion. Most were destroyed, except one. Earth, still marked as restricted. Still cut off from all council travel. No one had visited for centuries, but the signal from the crystal pointed straight to it. Vial turned the ship toward Sol System. The journey took 2 days. As he neared the system, warnings lit up the control board. Restricted sector. Turn back. He ignored them. Soon the blue-green planet came into view. Earth, still alive, still waiting. He entered orbit. No defense satellites, no signals, no cities in the sky. But as his ship scanned the surface, something strange appeared. A heat signature. Deep underground, bigger than a city. Vale landed in a forest, far from any ruins. His scanner beeped softly, guiding him to a cliffside covered in vines. He pressed his hand against the rock. The ground shook. A hidden door opened. Inside was a dark tunnel made of black metal. Clean. Untouched by time. Lights turned on one by one as he stepped in. The deeper he went, the more human the design became. Angled walls, white panels, and strange glowing lines across the ceiling. Finally, he entered a massive chamber. And there, it stood, a ship, but not like any he had seen before. It floated above the ground, silent and deadly. Its surface was black, absorbing light. Sharp wings curved backward like blades. At the center, a single red eye glowed faintly. On the wall, words were written in Old Earth language. Avalon, Earth's last word. Vial stared in silence. This was it. The weapon Earth left behind. A voice echoed in the chamber. Authorization. Crystal detected. Awakening protocol activated. The ship lit up. Engines hummed. Systems booted. Weapons armed. Vale stepped back. I didn't mean to... The voice continued. Target. Galactic Council vessels detected in range. Shall we begin response? Vial shook his head. No! Stand down. Silence. Then, command override accepted. Awaiting further input. Vial climbed the steps toward the ship. Inside, The controls responded to his presence. The crystal in his Eon hand glowed brighter, fitting perfectly into the ship's central console. Suddenly, a red alert flashed. Multiple council ships were approaching Earth's orbit. Vial! This is Commander Teller of the Galactic Council. Power down and exit the area. Vial opened a channel. Don't come closer. This ship, it's not just a weapon. It's a warning, a memory. Earth didn't want war, but you forced it. Stand down, Vial. That's Council property now. He looked at the glowing eye of Avalon. It was awake, watching. Ready. One Council cruiser fired a warning shot. Too close. Avalon moved. No engines, no flames. Just movement. Instant. Perfect. Silent. A red beam sliced through the cruiser. No explosion. Just... Gone, Vale shouted into the comms. Stop! This ship reacts on its own. I'm not in control. The remaining council ships turned and fled. Avalon returned to its place, silent once more. Vial sat in the pilot seat, breathing fast. Earth had never been unarmed. It had simply been waiting. Far away, deep in the stars, another signal moved. Avalon's other vaults, waking, and in a dark control room, somewhere beyond the galactic edge, a human figure stood, watching, smiling. They touched Earth again, he said softly. Now they'll remember who we are. Panic. That was the only word to describe what swept across the Galactic Council. In a single day, a human warship, Avalon, had reactivated on Earth and destroyed a council cruiser with one silent strike. No missiles, no warnings, no escape, and no one knew how many more of these ships were hidden across the galaxy. But something worse was happening. They were waking up. Inside the main council chamber, red lights flashed. Ambassadors from over 40 species shouted over each other. Holograms flickered. Reports came in from all sectors. 2 patrol fleets lost near the outer rim. We detected a strange pulse from the Etheri sector. Our AI systems have been hijacked by unknown code signatures. High Counselor Gorick raised his voice, but even he could not calm the chaos. They told us Earth was finished, he roared. They told us humans were extinct. The room fell silent. Then a single voice said, Earth didn't die. It disappeared. In a hidden part of the chamber, Admiral Serac of the Vorn military stood quietly. He pulled up an old file, one marked Orion Protocol. It was written long ago, in secret, by the first contact teams who had visited Earth and survived. The file read, Orion is not a weapon. Orion is an idea, a system of defense hidden in thought, memory, and stars. If reawakened, it cannot be stopped. Serac stared at the screen. The council had ignored the warnings. Now it was too late. Meanwhile, Vale sat inside Avalon on Earth. He hadn't left since the attack. The ship refused to fully shut down even when he ordered it. It was like a living thing, always watching, always listening. The crystal he took from Araxis 9 now floated inside the ship's core. It glowed brighter every hour. Messages kept appearing. On the screens, Orion Protocol, active. Earth status, locked. Human return, inevitable. He didn't understand the last one. Human return? Where were they? Far across the galaxy, on a forgotten station orbiting a black hole, a secret door opened. A man stepped out. Human. His eyes glowed faintly with cybernetic light. He looked young, but he was over 400 years old. He tapped the wall, and a screen lit up. Orion signal received. Earth contact confirmed. He smiled. So, they broke the silence. He turned to a dark hangar. Inside, 5 ships floated, identical to Avalon. Bigger, smarter, angrier. Back in the Council's war chamber, Admiral Serac stood before the gathered species. I request emergency powers, he said. We must strike Earth now, before more of these ships awaken. Counselor Gorick nodded slowly. Approved. But, a voice said from the shadows, what if more than ships wake up? Everyone turned. It was Zalari, a shadow being from the memory archives. She floated forward and dropped a file onto the table, a file no one had seen in centuries. Project Hydra. Serac opened it. Inside, records of human mind weapons, soldiers who could control machines with thought, men and women trained to turn fear into fire, children who could disable fleets with a scream. Everyone had believed it was a myth. But the file ended with one line. If Earth is touched again, Project Hydra will activate. Serac's voice cracked. What have we done? Back on Earth, Vial tried one last thing. He entered Avalon's command room and asked the AI a question. Where are the humans now? The AI paused, then answered. Everywhere. Nowhere. Watching. But where is Earth's Defense Command? The AI simply said, not Earth. Orion. Suddenly the floor shook. Avalon lit up fully. A new message appeared on the central screen. Second ship online. Vial's eyes widened. Another ship was awake. In orbit around a moon near the edge of the Council's central worlds, a deep crater split open. Inside it, something moved. A black ship rose silently into space. No lights. No crew. Just purpose. Its name burned across its side, Excalibur. And far away, another human woke from stasis. She opened her eyes and said just one word, deploy. In less than a day, 10 human vessels across the galaxy came online. No orders, no leaders, just one message sent to all Council frequencies. You were warned, you were told, you touched Earth again. Orion is now awake. Panic turned to terror. Ships went dark, AI cores shut down, and the Council began to fall apart. In the middle of this storm, Vial sat quietly inside Avalon. He understood now. Humans had never trusted the galaxy again after the First War, so they had done the impossible. They became ghosts with teeth now. Those ghosts were back, and no one, not even Vial, knew what they would do next. The Council was burning, not with fire, but with fear. 10 human warships had awakened, each one silent, each one deadly, and no one could stop them. Not fleets, not AI, systems, not even time, because Earth had planned for everything. In Sector 12, the planet Voskar prepared its defense grid. They powered up every cannon, raised shields, and locked down spaceports. Suddenly, a shadow passed over the city. People looked up. It was not a ship. It was a shape, huge, dark, and hovering. It didn't fire. It didn't speak. It just watched. Then, every screen on the planet turned on. A single human face appeared, wearing black armor. No expression. He spoke just one sentence. You were warned. Then the ship vanished. No attack, no damage, but the message was clear. Next time we won't wait. Back at the Galactic Council headquarters, total panic spread. Councillor Gorick, once strong and proud, now shook as he spoke. We must send a message, he said. Not a threat, a request, a plea. A plea? Another councillor asked. After centuries of control? Gorick nodded slowly. Yes, because if we do nothing, we all die. A message was prepared. It was broadcast across the stars. Formal surrender? No, but it was close. This was what it said. To the humans, wherever you are, we ask for peace, we ask for dialogue, we ask that you stop what is coming. There was silence. No reply. For hours. Then, a signal. Old Earth frequency. 1. Word, why? The Council didn't know how to answer. Because they had lied? Because they had broken Earth's trust? Because they had attacked a species that only wanted peace? No answer seemed good enough, so the Council replied with another message. Because we fear you now. Meanwhile, in deep space, the Excalibur ship floated in silence. Inside, the human woman who had awakened earlier, Commander Wren, watched the Council's message. She raised an eyebrow. Peace, she said. She tapped a console. A hologram appeared, an old image from centuries ago. It showed Earth cities burning, human colonies falling, council ships firing without mercy. She spoke to the AI. Have they changed? The AI replied, unknown. She turned away. Then we'll wait, but only once. On Earth, Biel received the council's message too. He forwarded it to Avalon's AI. It responded, not a threat, not a trap, fear. Biel sighed. Will the ship stand down? Only if the others agree. Others? The AI showed images of 5 other human commanders now awake, each in control of a warship, each watching the galaxy. Biel sat back. The decision was no longer his. Far beyond the galactic rim, inside a hidden station, the human man known only as the Architect walked into a round chamber. Screens surrounded him. Each one showed a planet, a council fleet, or a hidden vault. He smiled. So they finally begged. A woman beside him asked, do we stop? He thought for a moment, then said, maybe. He pressed a button. A message began transmitting to all human warships. Hold fire, observe, let them squirm. For the next 3 days, the galaxy held its breath. No attacks, no disappearances, no sounds from the Orion ships, but no one relaxed. Everyone knew the silence was not safety. It was warning, and in the center of that warning stood Earth, a planet that had once offered peace, and now held the galaxy in its fist. Then suddenly a new message came through, from Earth itself, not a warship, not a commander, but the planet. An old system deep under the surface had activated. It spoke in calm, perfect voice. We did not vanish. We waited. We offered peace. You chose fear. Now, you offer peace again. We consider your words. If you truly wish for peace, then disband your weapons. Leave Earth alone, forever. This is your final chance. The Council didn't even debate. Within hours, over 300 Council fleets powered down. All warships were recalled from Earth sectors. Spying stations were shut down, and a new law was written. Earth is not to be touched, entered, or approached. Ever. And just like that, the humans stopped. Their ships vanished again, into the stars, into shadows. But the warning remained. A memory, a fear, a message carved into the heart of the galaxy. Don't fight humans, but deep in the stars. Something else was coming, and soon the humans would return, not in anger, but with purpose. The stars were quiet again. No attacks, no warships, no strange signals. But the silence did not bring peace. It brought fear. Because everyone in the galaxy now knew one truth. Humans were still out there. And they were watching. In a lonely mining colony on the edge of the Varkus sector, workers discovered something strange buried deep under the rock. Not a ship. Not a weapon. A body. Human. Perfectly preserved in silver armor, eyes still glowing faintly blue. They ran scans. He was alive, and he was over 500 years old. The news reached the council instantly. Councillor Gorick stared at the report in disbelief. A human. Buried on our side of the galaxy? Admiral Serac frowned. Not just any human. A soldier, a sleeper agent, one of their... He hesitated. Legion. The room went silent. No one wanted to believe it. But the truth was clear. The Hidden Legion had returned. What was the Hidden Legion? Few remembered. Even fewer had seen them and lived. They were the last force created by Earth before it went dark. Not ships, not machines. Humans trained to disappear, to survive, to wait. Some were sent to live among alien worlds. Some were buried under code, hidden in AI systems. Others were placed in deep sleep, waiting for one command, and now they were waking up. Back on Earth, Avalon's AI lit up again. A message appeared. Legion Unit 7 activated. Sector Varkus. Viel stood in the command chamber. Another one? Why? The AI answered, because peace is not enough. Earth needs eyes. Viel frowned. To watch or to prepare for war? The AI didn't answer. In a hidden station near a dying sun, Commander Wren received a transmission. Encrypted, human code. She opened it. A voice came through. Male. Calm. Strong. Commander Wren, this is Legion Prime. We are online. Her eyes widened. I thought you were all destroyed. Only hidden. Earth wanted us silent until the stars turned. And now? We see movement. Secrets. The Council still plays its games. Wren nodded slowly. Then it's time. The Council thought the humans had backed down, but they were wrong. Because now, the humans were doing what they did best, preparing, watching, planning. 1 week later, 5 more Legion soldiers appeared on different planets. Each one said the same thing. We are not here to kill. We are here to remind you. Earth remembers. The fire. Message spread fast. Across thousands of systems, people whispered the name, Hidden Legion. Some wanted to resist. In one system, a council general ordered the arrest of a Legion agent. But the moment the order was given, every system on his ship went dark. Life support. Engines. Lights. The human agent looked into the general's eyes and said, You still don't understand. We are the system now. And then he disappeared. Viel watched all of this from Avalon. He spoke into the console. Is this what Earth wanted? Fear? The AI replied, No. Earth wanted memory. You called us extinct. You erased us. So now, we write ourselves back into history. In the darkest parts of the galaxy, humans were returning, not in armies, but in ones and twos. Quiet, unseen, powerful. Some worked as engineers on council ships, until the ships started obeying human commands. Some entered political offices, until new laws were passed that protected Earth's space forever. Some just watched, waiting for another attack. Back at the council, they held an emergency vote. The question, should the Legion be hunted? The result, no. Why? Because even trying could mean war, and no one wanted that again. In a secret room beneath the ruins of old Geneva on Earth, the architect stood with Commander Wren and Legion Prime. He pointed at a map of the galaxy. Phase 2 begins now, he said. Wren raised an eyebrow. Peace? The architect smiled. Peace? With strength. Legion Prime nodded. We will not strike first, but if they come again. Wren finished the sentence. We will not hold back. And far away in a forgotten corner of space, a small alien child looked up at the stars. Her father whispered, Those are the stars the humans once ruled. She asked, Will they come back? He answered, They never left. A soft signal echoed through deep space. It wasn't loud. It wasn't fast. It was ancient. A frequency lost for centuries. And yet, every ship, every station, every moon with a receiver heard it. Across the galaxy. The humans were speaking again. Inside Avalon, the ship Viel had discovered months ago, all systems suddenly powered to full. Viel stood in the command center as the lights flickered blue. A glowing message appeared on the main screen, only 2 words. It's time. Far beyond Earth in the Orion field, a place marked forbidden by every star map, dozens of hidden ships lit up all at once. Old, massive, unseen for generations. Not warships, arcs. Each one carried data, DNA, blueprints, and history. Everything Earth had once been. Everything it was ready to become again. Commander Wren watched the awakening from the Excalibur, her voice calm. Her eyes firm. This isn't an invasion, she said. No, Legion Prime replied. This is a reminder. Back at the Galactic Council, alarms sounded again. Not from weapons, not from fleets, but from broadcast towers. Earth was about to speak. Across every screen in the galaxy, a single feed appeared. A dark room, a human figure sat at a desk, face in shadow, voice clear, no anger, no pride, just truth. He said, "To the council, to the stars, to all those who feared us, and to those who forgot us, you were wrong. You thought we were broken. You thought Earth was gone. You thought the fire inside us had died. But we never left." Behind the speaker, ancient images appeared, cities of Earth, battles from the past, humans building, growing, surviving. You tried to erase us. You tried to control our memory. So we became a ghost. Now the ghost has a voice, in awe. The council chambers, Councillor Gorick lowered his head. So did Admiral Serac. They knew now. This wasn't just a show of strength. It was a final warning. The message continued. We do not seek war. We do not seek revenge, but we remember. And now, so will you. The screen faded to black. Then, slowly, a final image appeared. Earth, alive, bright, unconquered. Beneath it, one final sentence. Don't fight humans, ever again. Silence followed. A silence so heavy it seemed to slow the stars. And then, one by one, the warships powered down. The Hidden Legion disappeared once more. The Orion ships returned to sleep. And the galaxy changed forever. But something else happened too. On distant worlds, humans began to return, not as soldiers, but as teachers, explorers, healers. A new Earth embassy opened on a neutral moon, the first in 300 years, a place where any species could come to speak, to listen, to learn. Vael stood at its gates. Behind him, the Avalon hovered like a guardian. A child from another species walked up to him. Are the stories true? She asked. Did your people once fight the whole galaxy? Vael smiled. Yes, but that was a long time ago. She looked at the stars. Will you do it again? He looked up too, then answered, Only if we must. And so, the legend of Earth became something else. Not just a warning, not just a ghost, but a memory that burned in every system. If you want peace, respect humans. Because the galaxy had learned the final truth. Earth never needed to conquer. It only needed to be remembered. The end.